Today I fucked up by purchasing an expensive coffee machine and making a terrible discovery. I drink a lot of coffee. My mornings consist of 200–300 ml mugs of coffee, and I sometimes have a third after dinner later in the day. Recently, I got far too into James Hoffmann's videos and decided to upgrade my shitty drip coffee machine for a proper precision brewer. And when I say precision, I mean that this thing comes with a water testing strip so you can calibrate the machine for the mineral content in your water supply. Serious nerd shit. To justify the ludicrous amount of money I spent on what appears to be the Hadron Collider of coffee machines, I did some research on brewing ratios in order to maximize the allegedly life-changing potential of this equipment. Now, Coffee Science says the ideal water-to-beans ratio for this brew method is about 60 grams of grounds per liter of water. Out of interest, I decided to prepare my usual ratio from the old machine and see how close I was. It turns out, since I got the old machine just over a year ago, I've been brewing at about 20 grams, liter, resulting in what I now realize is pathetically weak brew. I prepared a proper 60 grams per liter brew with the new machine, and the resulting coffee was on another planet. The flavors were so developed it was like I could taste the touch of the Colombian farmer who picked the beans. I drank my full morning dose of 200–300 ml mugs in just over an hour. And then, I discovered an unexpected side effect. The year of drinking weak-ass brew has conditioned my body for weak coffee. And I had just drunk over half a liter of coffee that was theoretically 3 times as strong as usual. It has now been an hour since I finished that first pot and I can hear the passage of time. A fly flew past me in slow motion. I made an omelette for lunch and I beat the egg so fast it turned into steam. My heart no longer beats, it vibrates. And there is something unholy brewing in my lower intestine and I am fearing the wrath of God when it is released. Send help. Too long did not read. My new coffee machine gave me the knowledge that I've been conditioning my body to piss weak brew for a year, and 2 cups of the real strong stuff made me transcend the spacetime continuum. Edit. Here is the machine I bought, for those who have asked, although it appears to be sold out at the moment. Did I get the last one? And here is the James Hoffmann review that convinced me to ruin my life in this particular way. Tell us about your ascent to the throne. I think I saw this episode of Futurama before. One time I was out of coffee at home, and decided to brew a pot using instant coffee instead of regular grounds. Don't ever do that. Did you see the time knife? My beloved cat passed away yesterday, and this is the first thing that made me laugh and smile. Good job. Prepare to feel your scalp, vividly, for the next few hours. Today I fucked up by forgetting to bring my wallet to Wendy's. 2 days ago, I, 16M, went to Wendy's for a late-night craving. I pulled up, ordered, and drove to the window, only to realize that I didn't have my wallet. I had no cash in my car and I didn't have any type of electronic payment set up. Immediately after the man opened the window, I let him know that I accidentally forgot my wallet. I felt awful, as the food had already been prepared so it was too late to cancel. The guy asked me if I had Apple Pay or anything, but I unfortunately did not. Then, this absolute legend paid for my meal. I was beyond grateful that the food didn't go to waste and the guy was generous enough to cover the cost of the food. I felt terrible about not paying for my food, but I ate it and went back home. The next day, yesterday, I decided that some fries and a chocolate frosty sounded good, and I went to Wendy's. It was at about 8 p.m., and this time, I made sure that I had my wallet. I ordered and pulled up to the window, but this time there was a different guy at the window. I paid for my $7 of food with a $20 bill, and when he handed me the change, I asked if he knew who was running the window the night before at about 10 p.m. Luckily, the guy from before was standing right there, so I gave him $10 for covering my meal the night before. I'm so grateful that people like this man exist. If not for him, some good food would have gone to waste. Too long did not read. Make sure you bring your wallet. It's always nice when dealing with nice decent humans. I switched wallets for vacation and forgot to put my ID in the new wallet. Didn't discover it until I was 3 hours away and trying to go through the TSA line to catch a flight. That was not fun. Thank you for being the guy that came back to make it right. Kindness like that deserves kindness in return. That guy works hard for his money. I used to work for Wendy's, I did the same occasionally for nice people. I'd say about half returned and paid us later. The fact that you went back to make good on it, puts you in a class with him and few others. Today I fucked up by sleeping with tape over my mouth. So I must have read, or seen, or picked up somewhere on the internet, the idea that breathing through your mouth, especially when you sleep, is bad for you. Something about sleep apnea, bad teeth, who knows. I also saw that, to combat this, people will put a bit of tape over their mouth to encourage nose breathing. I'm more of a, let's try it, sort of guy, rather than just looking for more information. So, the night before last, I put on a tiny, thumbnail-sized piece of tape medical over my lips to keep them together, but still breathe from the sides if need be. It worked really well, I thought. I woke up refreshed, my nose was clear, and my throat wasn't dry. Most importantly though, I dreamt for a lot longer, and a lot more vividly, than I typically do. Last night I repeated the procedure, with a tiny piece of tape over my mouth. Again, I had really vivid dreams. Unfortunately, there is where the "today I fucked up" comes from. I was having a very vivid dream about eating cheesecake. I woke up, semi-groggily at 3 or 4 a.m., and realized the tape was no longer over my mouth. And my throat felt like it had something stuck in it. I woke my wife up coughing, trying to get it out, and drank a lot of water to try and wash it away. I had to tell her that I think I ate tape. After waking up, before work, she was teasing me about it. I'm not sure if it had some impact on my diet though, as I've been stuck to the toilet all morning. Too long did not read. Today I fucked up by trying a new fad diet of tape, and it stuck with me. And that, kids, is how you get #TAPE worms. If using tape helped that much, you likely do have sleep apnea and should talk to your provider about having a sleep study done. It could change your life. LPT. Use a larger duct tape, maybe the burglar will find it convenient. I tried this as well, didn't swallow any tape though. I had a sleep study done and if memory serves me rated a 7 out of 10 and got put on a CPAP machine. It took me ages to find a nose headgear I liked and that didn't get in the way, but now it's great. And #X200B. Diet of tape, and it stuck with me. Got it. I honestly assumed you were going to rip the top layers of your lips off. So I'd say this is better than that. Today I fucked up by writing, do pants at work. A coworker and I always joke back and forth at work. Very harmless, jovial kinds of jokes. Jokes I always feel can be repeated out of context and still be harmless. There's a whiteboard in the employee lounge, it's not used. I wrote my coworker's name and "poopy pants" beside it. They did not find that joke funny and reported me to HR. My boss talked to me and I have a meeting with HR later in the week. It's apparently serious enough my boss warned I could get fired. It was very difficult to keep a straight face over seeing pictures of the whiteboard and my boss angrily saying, "Poppy pants," every few sentences. I'm freaking out, but kind of want to see HR have to write the words, "poopy pants," on my termination paper. I think the issue was that I wrote it and not just said it. So there's actual evidence of my slander. Too long did not read. I wrote the words, "poopy pants," on the employee whiteboard and may get fired. Update 1. After reading comments and talking to other employees, I think I've figured out the why of the situation. Other employees legit tease and make fun of him. I'm thinking he thought I was different. But when I wrote "poopy pants," he felt I was just as mean as the others since I wrote it for others to see as opposed to just saying them to him privately. Update 2. For those saying I'm a mean old bully and should get fired and die alone in a gutter. Poopy pants was the worst I have said to him. The worst he has said to me? A balding joke, I'm not sensitive about it, but it would understandable if I was upset. And a very close to racist skin tone comment about me and my family lineage, again, not a sensitive subject to me. But, if it had been a random person I would have taken it as a racial remark. But I knew his intentions were not hateful. I didn't mention these before. Bouse I don't agree with the "it's okay to hurt his feeling because he was mean to me" mentality and wouldn't justify what I did in HR's eyes, according to my boss anyways. That and he didn't write anything down. I did and he's shown himself to be a very well-intentioned guy, up until this incident. Update 3. I haven't met with HR, but I had a long talk with my boss today. For him, anyways, he considers this matter over and done with. He feels like the verbal reprimand he, and later on this week HR will give, is sufficient. I'm pretty sure it's because I was fiercely apologetic and my boss said that he's certain if the coworker had come to me, I would have changed my behavior. Now, if I do something like this again, it's an automatic firing. So, once I meet with HR, I think I'll be okay. I'll also only be interacting with said coworker when it comes to work-related matters only. If it looks like it's going nowhere, just use the exit interview as an opportunity to make as many grown people say the words, "poopy pants," as many times as possible. Here's the fix. Have the coworker go to HR and admit their pants are indeed poopy. If you do get fired, be sure to write your boss's name and "turd burglar" next to it before you leave. Turns out, OP has been unknowingly bullying their coworker for years and finally gave them the hard evidence they need to stop the constant ridicule. Seems weak. Did you apologize to Poopy Pants? My nephew gave my cat the nickname, Poopy Head, when he was 6 because he wasn't allowed to swear. This literally sounds like a HR incident between a 6-year-old and a cat.